The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi, my dear children. Procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder. Procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder, which means if you postpone easy things in your life, that will definitely become hard things that you will experience later, hard things. And when you postpone or when you procrastinate hard things, it will never become easy for you. It will become more harder for you. I'll explain this with one example. When teachers asked you to write files, when you watch the first part of a chapter, only few things will be there to write in the file. But when you procrastinate it, when you postpone it for some other days, what will happen? The next week, again new video will come. So again many things will be there to write in the file. So whenever you procrastinate things, it becomes a heap. And finally, you will be getting tensed and you will feel it very hard to complete. And for many of you, maths is a hard subject, isn't it? But if you are not working it every day, what will happen? That hard thing will become more harder. If you are working out or if you are working out the problems every day, definitely that hard subject will become easy for you and that will become your favorite subject. So we can relate this with life also. In the life, whenever we procrastinate things, that will make the life more hard. So never postpone things. Whatever you wish to do today, do it today itself. Don't postpone it to some other days. Okay, so hope you understood the real meaning of the quote. Okay, so welcome back to the biology class. We have already completed 5 chapters, isn't it? So hope you all have understood 5th chapter and studied the chapter thoroughly. Today we are moving on to the new chapter, that is the 6th chapter, the biology of movements. So in this chapter we will be discussing the movements and which organ system help in the movements, body movements. So you know that muscle cells, the muscular system makes the body movements possible. So definitely in this chapter we will discuss the muscular system and along with that we will be discussing the skeletal system also. Okay. Now the chapter begins with a picture of a playground, isn't it? And you can see it here. A playground and many children are playing there, and two children or 2 people, they are standing on the footpath and near to the playground and they are talking, okay, each other. What they are talking each other? The first one is asking that boy, this person is asking to the boy, why not playing, why you are not playing with the children who are playing on the ground. So the boy is telling, I can play not only football but basketball also, but I need a computer. He likes to play all these games in the computer. He never likes to play in the playground, or he never play on the playground with his friends. Okay, so when we sit in front of the computer or when we use mobile phone without doing any physical exercise, our body stature also will become like that, isn't it? You can see that the children, those are playing on the playground, and the body of this boy is quite different. He is slightly obese, and the children, those are playing on the ground, are very well physically, they are fit, isn't it? So when we sit in front of the TV or computer without playing, without doing any exercise, physically we will not be healthy, physically as well as mentally we will not be healthy. So there are many advantages when we play on the playground with friends. Okay, so let us see what are the benefits of playing on the playground with the friends. Definitely playing games on the ground will make you physically fit and healthy. Along with that, that also will help you to become emotionally also fit, which means when you play with games with your friends, your self-confidence and self-esteem will develop, will improve. Your self-confidence will improve or increase, and your self-esteem will also develop when you play games with your friends on the playground. Then, if you have any stress, your stressful emotions will release when you play with your friends. Whatever tensions you had or you have, all the tensions will release, and after the playing, you can go back to your home with a fresh mind. So emotionally also you will become fit, and your sociability will also develop. That means when you play with your friends, you are playing with many children, isn't it? So from the ground you will learn how to maintain a relationship. Okay, so when you play games or when you do exercise with your friends, not only physically, emotionally and socially also you are developing. Okay, so there are many benefits when you play games or when you exercise. So sports that resort to exercise are also more beneficial to health. In sports, athletes, games, etc. are there, no? So that will help to maintain the physical fitness. So now we are moving on to the next topic, that is the importance of exercise. You can see here the importance of exercise. So when we do exercise, that will increase the blood circulation all over the body, and it also makes the exercise makes the cardiac muscles become strong when you exercise. Okay, so when the cardiac muscles become strong, our heart will function very efficiently. Okay, so when the blood circulation increases, we will feel more energetic. Understood? So we can do all our activities with the full energy. Then when it comes to the lungs, the exchange of respiratory gases becomes more effective, and the vital capacity of the lungs also increases. Okay, the vital capacity, you know what is vital capacity? We have already studied that, isn't it? And we need more energy, you know. So when we do exercise or when we play games, we need more energy. So the exchange of gases becomes more effective for producing more energy. Then the next point is When we do exercise, stored fat is broken down and thereby obesity is reduced. Some of the children or some of us are obese in nature. That means excess fat will be stored in our body. So when we do exercise, this stored fat is broken down and thereby reduce the obesity. And when we do exercise, we will sweat more, isn't it? So more waste is eliminated through sweat. The next benefit is for the muscles. More capillaries are formed in muscles because when we do exercise, the muscles always contract and relax, isn't it? So for that more energy is needed. So the energy we get from the see, for producing more energy, oxygen is required. So for supplying oxygen, more capillaries are formed in the muscle cells. Then the muscles becomes more efficient in their work. They will have the more capacity or more ability for contracting and relaxing. So the muscles will become more efficient. Okay, so hope you have realized the importance of exercise. So exercise makes us physically fit. That is, when we involve in interesting games, we will become physically fit. And exercise reduces the mental stress and we will become more energetic. And we can do our works energetically when we involve in games. So physical fitness we can develop. Along with that, our mental stress will release. Mental stress will reduce when we involve in interesting games or exercises. Okay. So these are the importance of exercise. Okay. So now what you have to do is, already our PT teachers have uploaded videos of exercises, isn't it? And what you have to do is you have to prepare a pamphlet about the importance of exercise. Pamphlet means a small booklet. Okay, with a handwritten, that is enough. You can prepare that. Okay, so now we are moving on to the next topic. So now let us discuss the body movements. Okay, so the muscles enables the body movements, isn't it? So what are the different types of body movements? The hand movements, we can make we can move our hands, our legs, isn't it? Then heartbeat is a type of movement, isn't it? Then our tongue, the movement of tongue, when we speak, when we eat food, the tongue is moving, isn't it? Similarly, we can nod our head. This is a type of movements, and we can move our eyes. This is also type of movement. And the pupil of the eye, Krishnamani ennu parayille kanninte, adum ingane contract ചെയ്യും, relax ചെയ്യും according to the intensity of the light, the dilation of the pupil. That is also a type of movement. Pulse ഒരു movement അല്ലേ? അതേപോലെ peristalsis, that is also a type of movement. Okay, so there are different types of body movements. So now you understood different types of movements are there. So let us categorize these movements. Okay, so there are two types of body movements, voluntary movements and involuntary movements. Okay, so now we discussed certain body movements. All these movements are taking place in our body according to our will? No. So there are movements which occur according to our will, and there are certain movements which occur in our body not according to our will, isn't it? So voluntary movements, involuntary movements. Voluntary movements are taking place according to our will, and involuntary movements are taking place in our body not according to our will. Okay, did you understand? So the movements of our hands, the movements of our legs, the movement of our head, These are voluntary movements, which means we can control, or these movements are according to our will. But what about the heartbeat or the pulse or peristalsis or the dilation of the pupil? Can we control these movements, or these movements are taking place according to our will? Without our knowledge, all these movements are taking place in our body, isn't it? So, such kind of movements are known as involuntary movements. Got it? Okay. Now, based on this, you have to tabulate. You have an activity. A table has given in the textbook, and you have to tabulate the voluntary movements and involuntary movements. Just now, I have given many examples of voluntary movements and involuntary movements, isn't it? So, you have to tabulate the voluntary movements and involuntary movements. Okay. So, voluntary movements are according to our will. Involuntary movements are not according to our will. Hope you have understood. Okay. So, our body movements make possible by the muscles, isn't it? Because of the contraction and relaxation of the muscles, the body movements are taking place in our body, isn't it? So, just now you understood different types of body movements are there in our body, or different types of movements are there in our body. So, according to that, or if there are different types of movements, definitely different types of muscles are also will be there in our body, isn't it? We can see a diversity among the muscles also. So, now we are moving on to the next topic, that is the types of muscles. Okay. So, let us study the types of muscles. So, in our body there are three types of muscles: skeletal muscles, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. So, let us analyze the characteristics of these muscles one by one. So, first we will discuss the skeletal muscle. Okay. So, this is skeletal muscle. Okay. So, skeletal muscles are seen attached to the bones. These muscles are attached to the skeletal system or bones. That is why they are known as skeletal muscles. Okay. And you can see here the shape. They are cylindrical in shape. That means ഒരു സിലിണ്ടറിൻ്റെ പോലെയാണ് ഈ മസിൽസ് കാണപ്പെടുന്നത്. They are cylindrical cells, and you can see here dark and light striations. There are dark and light striations present in the skeletal muscles, and they make the voluntary movements possible. Okay. So, what are the features of, or what are the characteristics of skeletal muscles? They are seen attached to the bones. They are cylindrical cells. Dark and light striations are seen. They make the voluntary movements possible. As they have dark and light striations, they are also called striated muscles. And we can call them voluntary muscles also, because they make the voluntary movements possible. Okay. The next one is smooth muscles. Okay. Smooth muscles are seen in the organs like the internal organs like small intestine, then stomach, blood vessels, etc. Internal ഓർഗൻസിലെല്ലാം തന്നെ ആ എല്ലാ ഇൻറ്റേർണൽ ഓർഗൻസും ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിരിക്കുന്നത്, they are made up of smooth muscles. Okay. And you can see the shape very much different from, or it is quite different from the skeletal muscle in the structure as well as their function. Okay. The smooth muscles are spindle shaped, and there are no striations. We cannot see any dark and light striations in the smooth muscle. So, no striations, and the smooth muscles make the involuntary movements possible. They make the involuntary movements possible. Okay. So, as there are no striations, dark and light striations, the smooth muscles are also known as non-striated muscles. Clear? Okay. The next one is cardiac muscles. And cardiac muscles are seen on the walls of the heart, which means the heart is made up of cardiac muscles, and in our body the cardiac muscles are seen only in the heart, and these muscles makes the contraction and relaxation of the heart, helps in the contraction and relaxation of the heart, pumping in help. Okay, and you can see the structure, they are branched cells, they are branched cells, and you can see striations also. Striations are also present, and cardiac muscle also make the involuntary movements possible. Heartbeat is an involuntary movement, isn't it? So cardiac muscles also makes the involuntary movements possible. Okay, so skeletal muscles, smooth muscle and cardiac muscles. With these muscles our body made up of, and hope you have understood their characteristics and the functions in our body. Okay. So while engaging in physical activities or exercise, the muscles have to undergo continuous contraction and relaxation, isn't it? And this needs energy. So what are the factors required to release energy in the muscle cells? Which are the factors required for energy production? We have already learned the energy production process, that is the cellular respiration. So what are the factors required for the energy production? Glucose and oxygen, isn't it? So if the supply of oxygen is not sufficient in the muscle cells, when people involve in hard or continuous and strenuous exercise, what will happen? The muscle cells will have to depend upon anaerobic respiration, which means if the supply of oxygen is not sufficient, anaerobic respiration will take place, isn't it? There is no other go. So when anaerobic respiration takes place, what will happen? Lactic acid will be produced as byproduct, and this lactic acid will be accumulated in the muscle cells. Okay, so the acidity in the cells, this makes the accumulation of lactic acid will increase the acidity in the muscle cells, and this will slow down the action of many enzymes involved in the contraction and relaxation of the muscle cells. Okay, so this when the acidity increases, these enzymes will not work properly. Okay, so because of that, the muscle cells will get exhausted. The muscle cells get exhausted and they temporarily lose their power to contract and relax. And this condition is known as muscle fatigue or muscle cramp. നമ്മൾ പറയില്ലേ മസിൽ കയറി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മസിൽ പിടിച്ചു എന്നൊക്കെ പറയില്ലേ, ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ മസിൽ ക്രാമ്പ് ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത്. അതായത് when the supply or when sufficient oxygen is not getting or supplying in the muscle cells will depend upon anaerobic respiration for producing energy. So when anaerobic respiration takes place, lactic acid is produced as byproduct, and this lactic acid will increase the acidity in the muscle cells, and this acidity will slow down the enzymes which helps in the contraction and relaxation of the muscles, so that the muscle cells get exhausted, they temporarily lose their power to contract and relax, and that condition is known as muscle fatigue. Okay, and while taking rest, the lactic acid will be dispelled or removed from the muscle cells, and the muscle cells regain their power to contract and relax. Okay, so when you experience muscle cramp or muscle fatigue, what you have to do is you take rest. Okay, when you take rest, the lactic acid will be removed from the muscle cells and you will get relief from the muscle fatigue. Okay, is movement possible only by means of the muscles? No. Alone the muscles cannot make the body movements possible. They always need the support of the bones to make the body movements possible. So now you have understood the different types of muscles and their functions in our body. Now we are moving on to the next topic, that is the skeletal system. Okay, the different how differently you can move your hands. You can dance, you can move like this, isn't it? So the different types of body movements are affected by the combined action of bones and muscles. Okay, so the human skeletal system is made up of 206 bones, and our muscular system, over 650 muscles are there in our body. Okay, and our skeletal system is made up of, or it is composed of 206 bones, and according to the position of these bones, the human skeleton is categorized into two, or human skeleton is divided into two: axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Okay, now with the help of the illustration, let us study about the human skeletal system. Okay, so according to the position of the bones, human skeleton is divided into two: axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Okay, so axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Okay, let us see the parts belong to axial skeleton and the parts belong to appendicular skeleton. Okay, so the parts belong to axial skeleton are skull, sternum, ribs and vertebral column. Skull, sternum, ribs and vertebral column. So these are the parts belong to axial skeleton. The axial skeleton provides a framework to the body, and also it protects the internal organs like brain, spinal cord, heart and lungs, etc. Okay. So there are 29 bones in the skull, and only sternum is a single bone, that is the breastbone. Then 24 bones are there in the ribs, curved bones are there in the ribs, and in the vertebral column 26 bones are present. So the total number of bones in the axial skeleton is 80 bones. Okay. Now when we come to the appendicular skeleton, the parts are pectoral girdle, bones in forelimb, pelvic girdle, bones in hind limb. Pectoral girdle, നമ്മുടെ shoulder bones, then bones in hands, the forelimb, then pelvic girdle means the hip bones, the bones in the hip, then the bones in the hind limb means the legs. Okay, so pectoral girdle, in the pectoral girdle, two bones, 2 into 2, we have two shoulders, isn't it? Each shoulder carries two bones, so 2 into 2, 4 bones, and the bones in the forelimb, each hand carries 30 bones, so 30 into 2, 60 bones, and we have two bones in the pelvic girdle, that is hip, 2 bones are there, and in the hind limb, that is in the legs, 30 bones are there, in each leg 30 bones are there, so 30 into 2, 60. So total number of bones in the appendicular skeleton, അതായത് 4 plus 60 plus 2 plus 60, so 126. So the number of bones in axial skeleton 80, number of bones in appendicular skeleton 126. So 126 plus 80, 206. Understood all of you? Then I told you the axial skeleton provides a framework to our body, isn't it? And the appendicular skeleton makes the body movements possible. The bones in the shoulder and the hands, then the bones in the hip and legs make the body movements possible. Okay, and now let us understand the combined action of bones and muscles. If you want to make a movement, how this movement is made possible? It is only by the combined action of bones and muscles. Okay, so let us understand the combined action of bones and muscle. with the help of the hand movement. It is very easy to understand with the help of the hand movement, how we move our hand. Okay, so I'll show you it. So, this is the biceps and this is the triceps, isn't it? So, the bones in the biceps are known as, the muscles in the biceps are known as flexor muscles, and the muscles in the triceps are known as extensor muscles. Okay, now how these bones and these muscles are attached to the bones. Okay, so how do they work together? So when we want to fold our hands, what happens? This flexor muscles contracts and the extensor muscles in the triceps relaxes. Okay, so when it contracts, when the flexor muscle contracts, it is connected or attached to the bones, isn't it? So when we contract, it will pull the bones upwards like this automatically. We do not know how it happens, isn't it? So when we fold the hand, the flexor muscles contracts and the extensor muscle relaxes. As a result, the hand folds. And when we extend the forelimb or hand, what happens? The flexor muscle relaxes and the extensor muscle contracts. Okay, so you can see here the combined action of two muscles, isn't it? Definitely these muscles are connected to the bones. So here the bones and muscles, they work together to make this movement of hand, isn't it? Okay, and along with that you can see the muscles, two muscles work together, isn't it? The flexor muscle and the extensor muscle, they work together to bring out this movement. So when one muscle contracts, the other one relaxes, which means they work together in opposite direction, and such kind of muscles are known as antagonistic muscles. And the base of all voluntary movements in our body are the working of these antagonistic muscles. നമ്മുടെ ബോഡി നടക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ ബോഡി മൂവ്മെൻറ്റ്സിൻ്റെയും ബേസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള പെയർ ഓഫ് മസിൽസ് ആണ്. അതായത് ദേ വർക്ക് ടുഗെദർ ഇൻ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ഡയറക്ഷൻ. വെൻ വൺ മസിൽ കോൺട്രാക്ട്സ് ദ അതർ വൺ റിലാക്സസ്. Understood? So, such type of muscles are known as antagonistic muscles. Okay, so with this topic I am winding up the class. Hope you have understood the concepts we have discussed today. So, see you in the next class. Until then, this is your Maya teacher signing off.